Happy SAG Awards Nominations Day, everybody. I am the Outlaw John Rocha here, joined by noted critic, film historian, and currently now editor-in-chief at Below the Line, Jeff Sneider. Jeff, how are you?
I am good. Sleep deprived. I was up late last night writing that Scream review in time to hit that embargo, but I'm good.
Yes, the 12:01 a.m. embargo that happened last night for Scream, that's for sure. And we should say Jeff will be joining me later on this weekend for a spoiler review of Scream. Jeff being a massive fan of Scream, me being a fan of Scream, but not a crazy fan like Jeff. It's going to be a fun discussion. But this show, we are talking about the SAG Awards nominations. Full disclosure, Jeff, I've been a member of SAG for 20 years. I used to work for the SAG Awards almost every year as a talent spotter. I'd be the guy in the truck going, oh, that's George Clooney. That's Mariska Hargitay. So it was a fun job to do. So I know the production team very, very well. And it's one of my favorite awards to give out in the year, because it's one of those awards. It's like, okay, these are the actors being respected by their fellow actors, being appreciated by their fellow actors. But Jeff, a lot of surprises here, some snubs here, things to get into for sure. Maybe some surprising possible Oscar nominations that are gaining some ground here. What did you think overall, first, before we get into category by category, of the overall SAG Awards nominations? Were you satisfied? Were you surprised? Or did they pretty much go chalk for you, to use a sports term?
They definitely didn't go chalk. There were some interesting snubs and surprises. I would say Kristen Stewart being left off for Spencer was a big surprise, just because she's really been working the town. I feel like, at one point, I think we all thought that she was the front runner to win.
Yeah.
I think it's tough for people like her who, is so closely associated with the Twilight movies, or even Jamie Dornan from Belfast, who was also snubbed, right? Who's just so closely associated with 50 Shades of Grey. It's tough sometimes for actors to overcome those, iconic roles and characters that they're, best known for. But for the most part, I think it's hard to argue with a lot of the SAG choices. I really like that Bradley Cooper and Jared Leto got in. I think that those were considered surprises by some, particularly Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
But I don't know, on last week's FYC with Perry and Mance, I was like, both of them are in. What about you?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought there were some really nice surprises. I thought West Side Story now, not getting Rachel Zegler nominated kind of surprised me. West Side, it did for me, but having Alana Haim not being nominated, then I'm okay. I'm okay. You know what? To choose the white wayfish actress over the Latina wayfish actress, I don't want to see that in 2022. Either they're both in, or they're both out, or Rachel Zegler is in. That's
why is it always about white and versus Latina?
Tell you what, when you guys balance out the scales in 500 years, then we can go not caring about color. But until then, I want to see more recognition for people of color and the work that they do. And we did get that with Ruth Nega's nomination for Passing. I thought that was nice. I was really surprised that Jennifer Hudson got a nomination, and then Cynthia Erivo getting a nomination for playing the same character in Aretha Franklin. That was
clearly nice. A lot of affection for these Aretha Franklin stories, both in film and in television.
Yeah. And Jennifer worked the town, as you said, as Kristen Stewart worked it. So did Jennifer. I saw multiple Q&A. I was invited to multiple Q&As with Jennifer Hudson, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the film, so I didn't go and see it. But she was definitely trying to get people over. So there were a lot of interesting nominations here overall that I thought were surprising.
She's also a past winner, Jennifer Hudson. So her peers respect her. Rachel Zegler still needs to sort of earn that respect. She's only been in one movie. I don't think you just come in and get it for your first movie necessarily.
That's a fair point. But on the film side, Power of the Dog and House of Gucci had 3 nominations each, followed by Being the Ricardos, Belfast, Coda, and King Richard. And on the TV side of things, Succession, Ted Lasso got no surprise there with Lasso, but Succession had been kind of shut out the last couple of years. Now Succession getting some love with 5 nominations, followed by Mayor of Easttown, The Morning Show, and Squid Game, which got a Ensemble nomination for acting there, for surprising, especially with Parasite a couple of years ago, getting the Ensemble nomination. Nice to see them recognizing shows like this on the SAG Awards side of things. And Only Murders in the Building receiving 3 nominations, but nothing for Selena Gomez. Did that surprise you? Did you like Only Murders in the Building?
I loved Only Murders in the Building. It was one of my top 10 shows of the year, and I thought Selena Gomez was really good.
Yeah.
But again, it's the same thing with Kristen Stewart and Jamie Dornan, where, is she just closely associated as a singer or, whatever?
Yeah.
It's tough. I think if the public can make that leap a little bit easier than the industry sometimes.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, let's jump into the categories here now with actor. Let's start there. Javier on the film side, Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith, King Richard, Denzel Washington, Tragedy of Macbeth. So any surprises here that DiCaprio didn't get nominated for Don't Look Up, or Peter Dinklage for Cyrano? What did you think of this category?
I haven't seen Cyrano, so I can't really say how good Peter Dinklage is. And I wasn't surprised Leo didn't get it. I never thought he was going to. Yeah. Javier Bardem is certainly a surprise, but at the same time, there's clearly a lot of respect for Being the Ricardos.
Yeah.
That is a movie that is about the industry.
Yeah.
And so I'm not totally surprised that it resonated with voters. But the other, I think that Garfield, Cumberbatch, and Will Smith, that's sort of the 3-headed hydra of this category. Mm-hmm. And then Denzel getting in, he's Denzel, you know, and he was really good in Macbeth, even though I didn't love that movie.
Yeah, no surprise. You're not a Shakespeare guy. I love
Shakespeare guy, but that's all it is. Give me something a little bit more than just reading the text of Shakespeare.
He's not reading the text of Shakespeare, sir. But all right, I understand what
No, it literally was, because in the movie I brought up the play of Macbeth, while I was in the theater, and I was just scrolling through the play, listening to them read these lines. There's no interpretation. I don't know. It didn't do much for me, man.
You drive me insane. You try speaking these words on the stage sometime. We'll see how you feel about it. But Javier Bardem, I was surprised for a different reason. I don't see him as a male lead in this movie. Not that he isn't the male lead, obviously being married to the female lead here in Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball. But I was surprised because his role is big, but it's not as big as Nicole Kidman. So I didn't anticipate that. I thought they'd go, as you mentioned here just a few seconds ago, with someone that they've been around, that they enjoy, that they like. I thought DiCaprio would get in here because Don't Look Up is a pretty liberal film, very much aimed at the Donald Trump presidency.
Yeah, this isn't what people want to see. This isn't what people want to see from Leonardo.
They didn't. Yeah.
From Leonardo DiCaprio. I didn't finish the sentence. This is what people want to see from Leonardo DiCaprio. So, they will honor Leo when he goes and plays Howard Hughes, or, a big dramatic role. But yeah, and kudos to Leo for stretching himself, for going outside of his comfort zone and doing a comedy. But yeah, I never thought that was an awards-worthy performance.
Fair enough. Is there anyone on the male actor side of things that you thought could have gotten in as a dark horse, or you would have liked to have seen get in here as a dark horse?
Joaquin Phoenix for Come On would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But again, that's a smaller movie, as is Spencer. That's the thing. You're not just voting. People don't seem to understand this. It's not just about honoring the best of the year. It's honoring the best of the year in the movies that people have seen.
Right.
Okay. You have to see the movies to vote for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not surprised that Being the Ricardos got nominations and Spencer didn't, or whatever, because Being the Ricardos you can go watch on Amazon Prime. That's a big part of it these days. Is availability.
Yeah, I was reading in the BAFTA, the article in the BAFTA is how one of the voters said, I can't even hook up my HDMI cable. I'm not going to bother doing that just to see a movie, because it's like, oh, you shouldn't be voting. All those people need to get weeded out. If you're not technologically proficient, get the fuck out of the voting bodies, in my opinion. But anyway, let's move on to actress here. And we spoke about being the Ricardos, Nicole Kidman leading the way here. Jennifer Hudson, as we mentioned, for Respect. Lady Gaga, one of my favorites of the year, for House of Gucci. Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter. She's essentially the female Anthony Hopkins. Everything she does should be nominated. And Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye here. You mentioned the snub of Kristen Stewart earlier, not having her be a part of this. Were you surprised by any of the other nominations here in this category or any of the snubs?
I think Jennifer Hudson was a bit of a surprise just because that movie didn't really seem like it caught on. It kind of came and went. But by all accounts, she was fantastic in the movie and quite deserving. Chastain is very good in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. I thought that was a bad movie. I just did not care for it. And again, nobody saw that either. So she was someone who I always thought was on the bubble, but I mean, I guess she managed to get in, but again, she's not competing with Penelope Cruz, right? From Parallel Mothers, because that's not like that wasn't like produced under SAG or anything. Yeah. I do wish that Amelia Jones from Coda was getting recognized more this season because she really does put that movie on her shoulders.
1,000%, dude. I think that was where I was going to go with my snubs. I really wanted her to get one of those outside nominations. And Jeff, you said something at the top of the show, and I'm kind of thinking about it as we talk about this and go through the nominations. People don't know her. People aren't that aware. But I mean, Apple TV, that's very accessible. They could have seen her and do her work and reward her with a nomination. I would have taken over Jennifer Hudson. As much as I enjoyed Jennifer Hudson in that movie, I think towards the tail end, it isn't as powerfully acted as you would like to have seen. And I think that's about the direction. I think the direction kind of undercuts her by rolling through these alcoholic phases of her life rather than us seeing this whole journey more intensely and more in depth in that movie. So I thought that would do a disservice to her in the end, but she got the nomination. But Amelia Jones, really surprised not to see her on this list.
It's the same deal as Rachel Zegler, though. Again, this is a fresh phase. She's, this is her paying her dues. And then the next time she comes in with a performance that is, on the bubble, maybe yes, maybe no, maybe she gets the benefit of the doubt because now she has some history with the Guild. But keep in mind that Coda did earn a Best Ensemble.
Yes, true.
So it's like she was technically nominated as part of that ensemble. And when you look at something like Power of the Dog, which got 3 individual nominations, that wasn't in the ensemble list. So I think that's kind of very telling.
Yeah, it's a balance, I guess. I guess that's a good point. I didn't ask you your prediction for actor. Who do you got for actor? And I'll ask you your prediction for actress. This is what we're talking about now.
Oh boy, who do you think? I mean, I think Will Smith is going to win. I just think Andrew Garfield was terrific in Tick, Tick, Boom.
Right.
But I just think that this is Will Smith's year.
Across the board.
No, that is dead in the water. I do not want to hear about Benedict Cumberbatch, winning anything.
Okay, fair enough. All right, with actresses, what we're talking about now, who you got in this in this category? Do you think it's Kidman?
Oh God, geez. Because I would have gone with Kristen Stewart. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know because I didn't like The Lost Daughter, but Olivia Colman was really good in that, and I liked Being the Ricardos more. But it wasn't like Nicole Kidman silenced the doubters, I think, but she didn't blow me away. So I think it's between Nicole Kidman and Olivia Colman.
Wow, if anyone's doubting Nicole Kidman still, get out of here. She's done so much. Go watch To Die For again and get reminded how incredible she can be in a movie.
Oh, she's one of the best to ever do it. I'm just saying when she was cast as Lucille Ball.
Oh, right.
There were a lot of skeptics, and I was among them. Yeah. And she did prove me wrong. But is it really a winning performance? I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's almost weird how they kept out Kristen Stewart because it seems like Kristen Stewart, a lot of people seem to feel that she's an odds-on favorite to win an Oscar for her performance as Princess Diana in Spencer. Why do you think she was left off? Do you think people didn't see it? Do you think nobody cared about it? Do you think there's this aversion to royalty? I mean, she was beloved in America. Diana was. So are you surprised by this? Do you think people just didn't buy into her playing Diana?
That's a big part of it. Because she's beloved in America, people had certain opinions on her and how she should be depicted and her story. And so maybe this telling of it just didn't resonate with anybody. I think Spencer can be a challenging movie. Like it is a little slow and it is a little boring. I loved the last 20 minutes of the movie, and that is what redeemed it for me. If I didn't love that last 20 minutes, I'd be like, forget it, and I would have written it off. Yeah, again, it goes back to what we were saying earlier, where I just think people can't have a hard time seeing Kristen Stewart as like serious actress Oscar winner.
Fair enough. Emma Corrin winning the Emmy for, I think she won the Emmy for her portrayal of Diana. So how ironic that Kristen Stewart not nominated for SAG, but certainly Emma Corrin getting it for Diana in The Crown. I'm going to throw Gaga in there, man. I think Gaga is I loved her at House-of-Gucci. It is a show-stopping role, and I think if Kidman doesn't win it, then it's Gaga's. That's the way I look at it.
I just think if Gaga didn't win for A Star Is Born, she ain't gonna win. It was fun. It was fun. She was good in it, but
yeah,
she wasn't a highlight for me.
I liked her better in this than The Star Is Born. That's my personal opinion. All right, and let's look at actor in a supporting role, bro. Some surprises here. Your Boston boy Ben Affleck in The Tender Bar. By the way, if you guys haven't seen The Tender Bar, I cannot recommend it enough. Such a good film. Surprisingly, quietly, a good small film to enjoy. Bradley Cooper in Licorice Pizza. Troy Kotsur and Coda, great to see him being nominated. Jared Leto in House-of-Gucci. And Cody Smith-McPhee in The Power of the Dog. It does feel like this is Cody Smith's to win, but what do you think of this nomination? And was anyone snubbed like Kieran Hines that you thought should have been in this?
No.
Okay.
No, I think this is actually pretty perfect almost. Okay. Yes, Affleck is a surprise, but I thought Affleck was terrific as well. I thought he was so good in The Tender Bar.
Oh.
I just didn't think either of the Belfast boys were anything special. I expected Dornan to get in over Kieran Hines, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But when both were left off, again, that's the problem with having two guys in one category is you risk splitting the vote. People are like, which one do I do? Which one do I do? You know what? Jared Leto really stood out in House-of-Gucci. I'm going to go with him. Or Bradley Cooper. This is a category, again, I've said this a million times, that rewards big performances. Okay. Yeah. Bradley Cooper, Jared Leto, like Kieran Hines does very kind of subtle work, and he's just been overlooked time and time again. I never really thought that was going to happen. I could be wrong at the Oscars when there's more like international voters, but no, I kind of love how this category shook out, and I do think it is Cody's year probably. Are
you surprised by the Leto nomination? He's been getting a lot of crap from some people online, some of the critics online, some people claiming it's a caricature and not a performance. I liked him in the movie. I liked the movie overall, but were you surprised that he's getting some awards? Jared Leto.
No, Jared Leto was the best thing about House-of-Gucci. He absolutely stole the movie. He gave it its heart and soul. Perry was like laughing at Manson for having this opinion, and she was just like, absolutely not. No. She went off. Perry doesn't normally go off, and she went off on FYC. But it's like, I mean, he understood the assignment. He understood what House-of-Gucci was supposed to be. So, like, if I had to vote myself, I might vote for Jared Leto here. I do love Troy Kotsur in Coda, and it would be so cool to see him upset Cody Smith-McPhee. Just because, again, Cody Smith-McPhee has been around for probably a decade at this point. He's going to be around for decades to come. But is Troy Kotsur really going to get another role like this? There aren't a lot of juicy roles for deaf actors. Maybe they decide to give it to him this time. I don't know.
Maybe. And hopefully that's changing, because we've seen a lot of deaf actor performances over the last couple of years that have got the attention of voters, have got the attention of fans and viewers. So hopefully that will be something we see more, because Troy Kotsur is an incredible talent.
The thing about those actors, though, it's like, it's Paul Raci in Sound of Metal, or it's Troy in this movie, but then they don't, like, the next time there's a big role for a deaf actor, maybe it goes to another fresh face.
Right.
You don't see people coming back, unless it's Marlee Matlin, who's obviously in Coda and has been sort of the leading deaf actress in Hollywood for 30 years.
Yeah, but she hasn't had a role like she had in Children of a Lesser God anywhere close to that since that time until this film. So I mean, you make an excellent point here, supported by history. All right, let's look at actress in a supporting role. Katrina Balfe for Belfast, the only nominee for Belfast in terms of acting singularly. Cate Blanchett, Nightmare Alley, a little bit of a surprise here. Ariana DeBose, pretty much the odds-on favorite. She's been winning a lot of the awards lately for West Side Story. Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and Ruth Negga for Passing. So, Jeff, I have to push back a little bit on you. Said, well, they don't know Rachel Zegler, why they nominate her, but Ariana DeBose is also a new actress on screen. She got a nomination here, and she's been cleaning up at the award show. So, what do you think the difference is here?
She went big, right?
It's a showier role.
A much bigger, showier performance than Rachel Zegler's sort of little diminutive wallflower. Like, that's what the supporting categories are all about. Who can come in and just like take over and own a movie? And Ariana DeBose, I suppose, did that in this.
Yes.
I'm not surprised that she is getting more awards love than Rachel Zegler.
Okay.
I do wish that the guys David Alvarez and Mike Face, or however you pronounce his last name, I do wish that they were in the conversation more, because I thought those two guys, they were my favorites. Not DeBose, not Zegler or Elgort. It was David Alvarez who really blew me away.
Alvarez is Bernardo. Is that what you're saying? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mike Faced as Riff. Yeah, I liked Mike Faced. Absolutely. Alvarez was a little bit on the fence on in some of the scenes, but I liked his performance. I thought if you could nominate anybody, I thought Chino did a nice job in that movie as well. But Ingenue Ellis not nominated here, considered a snub for her very steely work as a Best Supporting Actress in King Richard. Thoughts on that?
That is a snub.
Yeah, that's a legitimate snub. Okay,
and I really appreciated what Ingenue Ellis brought to the table there. One was surprising. One second, I had some thoughts on it. Like, I guess I felt, and I said this on FYC as well, that I could feel the momentum from Ruth Negga going for passing. So I feel like Ruth Negga kind of stole Ingenue's slot a little bit. Cate Blanchett, she was good in Nightmare Alley, but I think she just got in because she's like a bigger celebrity who's very well respected by her peers. And she also has that role in Don't Look Up that sort of bolsters her candidacy, you know? Like, if Ingenue Ellis had another role in some other contender, maybe she would have slipped in the way that Blanchett. I do think that Ingenue Ellis is more deserving than Blanchett and will ultimately make the Oscar field.
Okay, and before we leave the film category, we'll get into the cast in just a second. Before we leave these individual categories, I want to ask you about two snubs. Alana Haim for Licorice Pizza. Do you still put that in the people don't know her, so that's why she wasn't nominated category? Or do you think it was, I mean, that's a pretty showy role. She's a pretty emotionally unstable person throughout the whole movie. I mean, it's pretty, she captures your attention throughout the film. Did it surprise you that she wasn't nominated? And what about Nicolas Cage in Pig for Best Actor? Is there a shock here? I mean, if he's going to get nominated by anybody, it should be his own peers for an award like this for such a small film. What do you think about both of those snubs?
Thought Cage was great in Pig, but again, it's a small movie.
Okay.
You know, I just don't know how many people are to watch this very quiet, meditative film. And then I'm sorry, what the best actor?
Alana Haim for Licorice Pizza.
Alana Haim, I thought Alana Haim was terrific.
Yeah, I liked her in the film,
and I was skeptical of that casting decision as well. But yeah, she's up against some titans. I think it's a similar deal, fighting certain industry perceptions of them, almost like Selena Gomez with Only Emerged in the Building, where people think of her as a musician more. Also Licorice Pizza was a divisive film.
Damn right. Yeah, I did not like it. My own reasons for it. Anyway, let's look at outstanding cast here. Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, House of Gucci, King Richard. So Don't Look Up nominated in the ensemble cast category. Did that surprise you? Is that more just the star power nomination? Because it wasn't nominated for any individual award. So do you think that's more of a star power thing?
Yeah, I do. I think Don't Look Up and House of Gucci, frankly, are kind of like these big star fucker type of nominations or whatever. I mean, it is fun watching those kinds of movies. That is why you go to the movies. We go to the movies either for a great story or to see the stars that we love, right? And so those movies offer a plethora of stars. And whether you love the movie or not, it does make it more entertaining, right?
Yeah.
At least, especially in the case of Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
So what would I have nominated over it? I don't know.
West Side Story. I would have nominated West Side Story for the ensemble over Don't Look Up in a heartbeat. I would have nominated In the Heights over Don't Look Up.
In the Heights just has no awards profile at all. I got to tell you, no one is talking about that movie.
I know, it's heartbreaking. It's effing heartbreaking, for God's sakes. But I think West Side Story's cast overall did a much more, just did a better job with what they were given than Don't Look Up does.
I mean, I agree. I've never understood voting bodies' love for Adam McKay. I don't think that he's like some incredible director of actors either. So I don't know.
Yeah, Vice was kind of Big Short was good, even though it had some spots that weren't that great. So I don't know what he's living off of, but yeah, Don't Look Up was a bit of a slog for me. No, I don't want to try to ruin anybody's experience for it, but it just wasn't for me. Real quick, Stunt Ensemble, Black Widow, Dune, Matrix Resurrection, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi. Any surprises here?
No, I wouldn't say that there's any surprises. I know that there's been a lot of like Oscar talk about Spider-Man and whatnot.
Yeah,
but
right.
specifically as far as visual effects or stunts go, it didn't blow me away on that front. The reason people are liking the Spider-Man is the writing and the performances and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would love to see Shang-Chi get that award, just because I thought that the action in the first hour in the first hour of that movie is terrific.
Yeah.
Doing that below the line elsewhere, I don't think it really needs a stunt award from SAG.
Yeah. I was surprised by F9. Why is there no F9? Is this a kind of
a 9 in the title
film?
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, what have you seen?
I'll take
before?
Bro, I'll take F9 over Matrix Resurrections any day. What did I see in Matrix Resurrections that I didn't
So will I. So will I. But.
Yeah. I'm just saying. All right, let's move on to the TV side of things here. Let's start off with the actor in a drama series, Brian Cox for Succession, Billy Crudup for The Morning Show, Kieran Culkin for Succession again, Lee Jong-jae, I hope I'm saying that right, for Squid Game, and Jeremy Strong for Succession. So you mentioned earlier, Jeff, how two actors, like the two Belfast actors, could cancel each other out possibly. What's your feeling about this? You got three actors coming this. Is this Jeremy Strong's to win, or did that New Yorker profile kind of undercut his chances at winning this?
No, the media made too much of a deal about the New Yorker profile. I never really got what all the fuss was about with that. I do think that this is Jeremy Strong's year.
Okay.
I think that he's kind of a shoo-in for this, but does the possibility exist that, yeah, you've got a bunch of Succession fans, but I like Brian Cox more. I like Kieran Culkin more. Mm-hmm. You know what? And that allows the Squid Game heads to rise. Like that would be the coolest moment of the SAG Awards, is if Lee Jong-jae from Squid Game ended up winning.
Oh my God, that would be incredible. People would go out of their minds, for sure. All right, so any snubs here that you thought should have gotten? I mean, Yellowstone got nominated for Best Cast, but it was Costner any possible consideration for this?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't watch Yellowstone, but no.
Okay. What about Sterling K. Brown for This Is Us? I mean, they're wrapping things up. Did you expect a sympathy nomination? Although he is a fantastic actor, did you think maybe a sympathy nomination could have been in play here?
I don't watch This Is Us. I feel like, network TV is never going to fare well against the streamers. I mean, I guess I'm surprised that Kieran Culkin is considered a lead. I figured that he might be up for like a supporting role with Cox Strong positioned as the lead. So, maybe Succession took one more slot than I was expecting here, but I don't know that I'd replace him with Sterling K. Brown.
Okay. All right. So who's your winner on this one? Jeremy?
Who wins? Jeremy Strong with a potential upset from Mr. Squid Game.
Okay. I'll say Jeremy Strong was with a potential upset from Brian Cox, of all people, which would work so well in the Succession storyline. Actress in a drama series, Jennifer Aniston for The Morning Show, Ho Young-jung for Squid Game, Elizabeth Moss for The Handmaid's Tale, Sarah Snook for Succession, and Reese Witherspoon for The Morning Show. Can I say I would really love Sarah Snook to win this one, man? I love her in that show. She's my favorite part to watch in that show over Jeremy Strong. No lie. So I think she should get the win. Who do you see winning this thing, and what do you think of these nominations?
I'd bet my life on Sarah Snook winning. That's how confident I am, without having even seen a minute of Succession season 3 or whatever. The Morning Show, I watched a couple episodes from season 2 and kind of checked out. I'll go back and finish it at some point, but I don't really see Aniston or Witherspoon taking this award. Same thing with Elizabeth Moss. We've seen her a zillion times. I didn't really care for the female characters in Squid Game. That was a weakness I felt. So I do think just by default, Sarah Snook is going to take this.
All right. What do you think about Issa Rae not being nominated, or Michael J. Rodriguez not being nominated for Best Actress here in this category? Any thoughts on that? I mean, Issa
again,
Rae.
Pose is one of these shows that critics love and
Yeah.
very few people really watch. I mean,
Okay.
let's be honest here. Issa Rae, Insecure. Well, this is a drama series nominees. So,
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, right.
yeah,
So
she
let me get to that a little bit later. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. So, but let's do drama series ensemble here. Handmaid's Tale. Oh, okay. Any surprise, Elizabeth Moss? Like, is this just kind of you got to throw her in type thing?
I don't watch any of these. Like, if it's popular on TV, I probably don't watch it. Okay.
All right.
Handmaid's Tale, Succession, Lord of the Rings, whatever the hell it is. So she gets in because she is a great actress and people love her on that show and in that role. But yeah, you don't win SAG for season 5 or 6. I don't even know what season they're on with that show. Feels like it's been on forever.
Ensemble drama series: Handmaid's Tale, Morning Show, Squid Game, Succession, Yellowstone. Any chance Yellowstone pulls an upset here?
Very tough. Very tough.
Yeah.
Succession, I think, is your odds-on favorite. Everybody loves Succession, blah, 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 blah. Yellowstone is the hot show of the moment, though.
Yeah.
So it's like it really all depends on can it ride the momentum that it has. And I do believe it has more momentum than any of the shows listed here.
Yeah.
Can it ride that to a win? And then the other thing is obviously Squid Game, because that was such a phenomenon. And everybody saw Squid Game. And you have to hand it to that ensemble, like legitimately. Yeah, it's that's tricky. It's going to be competitive. I'm definitely curious who's going to prevail here.
Right. I got the Succession as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if Yellowstone slides in as a shocking win here. But we shall see.
Don't think Squid Game stands a chance?
What's that?
You don't think Squid Game stands a chance?
No, I don't. I don't think Squid Game stands a chance to win the ensemble.
And the nomination is the victory there.
Yeah, the nomination is the victory. Absolutely, to highlight it. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's the SAG voters going like, "Oh, we did a great job. We did a great job." Ensemble in a comedy. Oh no, let's move on to actor in a comedy series here. Michael Douglas for the Kaminsky Method. Have you ever watched the Kaminsky Method?
I have. I'm a big fan of the Kaminsky Method.
Okay, all right. Brett Goldstein for Ted Lasso. Steve Martin for Only Murders in the Building. Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building, and Jason Sudeikis for Ted Lasso. Does anyone upset Jason Sudeikis? Even though the second season wasn't that well received, so is there a possibility for an upset here?
I do think that there is one. I think it's possible that Steve Martin could win. People, I don't know anyone who had a bad thing to say about Only Murders in the Building. Yeah. And I think that there is something very special about the chemistry that Steve Martin and Martin Short have on that show. I think Martin Short is probably positioned better for awards than Martin Short. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like Jason Sudeikis. He won last year, right? For Ted Lasso. Like, I just don't know if this is going to be a thing where we give him this award every year in this category, or if maybe because of Steve Martin's advanced age, or like, hey, let's honor him. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I do think that Steve Martin could upset. Although I will acknowledge that yes, Jason Sudeikis is the front runner.
Seems like Sudeikis is the front runner, but I mean, this season, as I said, wasn't that well received. He had some dramatic scenes to play for sure, but I think there was more that he did in the first season than in the second season. I think the actor who plays Norm, he's the one that really you want to be focusing on if you're going to do any nominations. Of course, not nominated because there's not supporting situations here. But if anything, I think Martin Short could be the dark horse in that. I think this is the most restrained, believable, and effective performance of Martin Short's entire career. Not once did he default to those tricks of his that he likes to do with the double takes on the stuff that he likes to do that ruins some of his dramatic or attempts at drama in his previous times in his career. And I think he did a really nice job in Only Murders in the Building. Martin's shown he has those dramatic chops up and down his career. It's Short who really kind of showed me more in this show than Martin did. Yeah, in my opinion.
Hey, that's totally fair. But I think that speaks to the quality of the show.
Yeah, 1,000%. Actress in a comedy series here. Elle Fanning for The Great. Sandra Oh for The Chair. That's a really surprising one to me. Jean Smart for Hacks. Juno Temple for Ted Lasso. And Hannah Waddingham for Ted Lasso. Now, Hannah won it last year, I believe. But I kind of think Jean Smart is the odds-on favorite here. What do you think?
I think this category is done with. Yeah. This is Gene Smart. Terrific, a top 10 show for me last year. I do think that Juno Temple and Hannah Waddingham will end up splitting the vote to some extent.
Yeah.
Elle Fanning is going to have her fans for the great. There is not a single show that more people over the last 2 months have told me you need to be watching this. You need to watch The Great. I've heard it over and over again, but it's just not my cup of tea. So she's going to get some votes, but I think that Jean Smart will have enough support to win.
So no Shakespeare and no films about stuff on that. So clearly you've got an issue with
I don't like period
stuff, period pieces. Yeah, exactly. It's very clear.
Yeah.
But I will throw this out there. I don't like Juno Temple being nominated over Hannah Einbinder. I thought Hannah Einbinder gave as good as she got in Hacks with Jean Smart. I actually think the show isn't as much of a masterpiece without her in it. So if you're going to nominate anyone that's kind of possibly a supporting actress versus the lead actress, which is essentially what Juno Temple is in Ted Lasso, I think Hannah Einbinder deserved it more than Juno Temple.
You're totally right. Hannah was fantastic on Hacks. I don't know why Sandra Oh is here. I watched 2 or 3 episodes of The Chair and thought it was a total mess.
Yeah.
But, people have a lot of respect for Sandra Oh.
Yeah. Or even Selena Gomez perfectly could have slid in and taken Sandra Oh's spot or Juno Temple's spot. I would have had no problem with that at all. So
or Issa Rae.
Or Issa Rae. Exactly what we were mentioning.
Yeah, Sandra Oh is an odd choice.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Ensemble comedy series, The Great, as you mentioned, people telling you how great it is. Hacks, The Kaminsky Method, Only Murders in the Building, and Ted Lasso. I think it's between Only Murders and Ted Lasso. Hacks is basically a 2-person show. So, yeah, the other ensemble actors are fine, but it's basically a 2-person show. Whereas Ted Lasso and Only Murders, they have more to do. So do you think that's the...
I really do like the ensemble on Hacks. I love the agent and his assistant, Meg Stalter, what is I forget the character's name. The black guy.
Okay.
He's really good. Is his name Charles? Why I keep calling him Charles.
Yeah.
But anyways, I do think that it is between Only Murders in the Building and Ted Lasso, and I'd probably have to give it to Ted Lasso. Yeah. I just thought Sam Obisanya, he was great. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many good people on that show.
Yeah, fair. That's what it is. It's an abundance of good people, and they each have distinct storylines to play out throughout the season, which you don't necessarily see in these other shows that are nominated in the same category with an ensemble.
Ted Lasso also, I feel like the episodes are roughly a little bit longer. They're between 35 and 40 minutes, whereas Only Murders in the Building are maybe between 24 and 28 minutes. So you can do a lot more in that extra 10 minutes. There's a lot more opportunity for character depth and growth and things like that. So it's the running time thing is interesting because you're having comedies extend beyond a half an hour, but they're not close to an hour, but they have almost the same sort of character things that a drama has. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good point. All right, actor in a TV movie or limited series here. Real quick, Murray Bartlett for The White Lotus, Oscar Isaac for Scenes from a Marriage, Michael Keaton for Dopesick, Ewan McGregor for Halston, Evan Peters for Mayor of Easttown. I feel like this is Keaton's to win. Am I wrong on this?
I didn't finish Dopesick. That's another show that I would love to go back and finish if I just had unlimited time. I would say that he probably feels like the front runner.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. People loved The White Lotus.
I think Jeff
Murray Bartlett came out of nowhere. At least for me, I could see him pulling off a crazy upset.
Okay, fine. I tried that show. I'm sorry. I did 2 episodes of that show, and I was like, I could give a crap. I don't know why. It just didn't hook into me.
# white people problems.
Throw it out there, maybe. You might be right.
Right. You can say it. Yes, it's a bunch of rich white people.
I don't care.
Vacation in Hawaii.
Yeah. Oh, does it suck that you can afford a vacation in Hawaii? Get out of here. But no, I thought Michael Keaton's portrayal in Dopesick, which my friend, my fellow geek buddy Shannon McClung has been banging the drum for me to watch, and finally started watching it. He's incredible. He's incredible in the show. So I think he absolutely deserves it. Evan Peters, not as much of a standout. And what happens to him, a few episodes in. So it's like, it's not that, it doesn't in the end have as strong of a performance as Michael Keaton does in Dope Sick. All right. Actress in a TV movie or limited series.
Isn't it crazy though that we're not even talking about Oscar Isaac? Like,
yeah.
I wanted to watch that show and I watched 10 minutes of it and I was like, I can't do this right now. And I just never went back to Scenes from a Marriage.
I did. Dude, I tried. I got maybe 20 minutes in. I was like, I saw this. It was called Revolutionary Road. I'm good. I don't want to see this again. And they're both fantastic actors. It's just when you've seen the original, it's really tough to come close to what they did. Actress in a TV movie or limited series. Jennifer Coolidge for The White Lotus. So great to see her getting a nomination. Cynthia Erivo for Genius Aretha. Margaret Qualley for Maid, which a lot of people have been telling me to watch. Jean Smart, Mare of Easttown, and Kate Winslet in Mare of Easttown. This is Kate's, right? I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know how else besides Kate Winslet, as good as Jennifer Coolidge was. And I'm kind of surprised. I always thought that was more of like a supporting performance, but I guess like you said, there are no real supporting things here or whatever. I think it's Kate Winslet. Is there a possibility that people could just be like, I'm sick of giving Kate Winslet awards, let's give it to Maggie Qualley for Maid? That is a very tough, but I just think Kate's work is so undeniable that she's gonna win.
Yeah. All right. What's the other one here I have? And then is it an ensemble? No. Okay. So that's everything overall for the awards here. There's stunt ensemble, I guess. Cobra Kai, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, Mare of Easttown. What's the stunt in Mare of Easttown? And Squid Game.
Jump over a knee.
Get out of here. Murder's the murder. Now, listen, I didn't see any stunts in Mare of Easttown other than her confronting a couple of. Oh, yeah, that's right. Them confronting that dude in the house. That was pretty much the only stunt that I can remember. There must be other shows that could have been nominated in this category. Hawkeye came out this year. Doesn't Hawkeye qualify or no? I feel like there were more stunts in Hawkeye than there were in Mare of Easttown.
I don't know. I mean, you're right about Mare of Easttown and the stunts and stuff, but do we need to just like give it to all 5 Disney Plus Marvel shows because they had a huge budget for action scenes? No.
All right, fine. Who's your odds on this one? Cobra Kai or Falcon and Winter Soldier? Loki?
Jeez. I would give it to Squid Game just because, at least those stunts and stuff, like they felt dangerous. Like it was Marvel, all like fake. It was all just like bullshit. Come on.
Yeah. Some snubs possibly here as we wrap up the TV section. Any Haley Steinfeld for Dickinson or for Hawkeye? Didn't get nominated all for either. Any surprises there?
No.
Jesus Christ.
All
right there. That's
I would have, backing it up, I really would have liked to have seen Joshua Jackson get a nomination for Dr. Death.
Okay.
I thought Joshua Jackson was absolutely terrific on Dr. Death. Nobody watched the show because it's on Peacock.
Right.
I'm telling you, this is one of the best shows I saw all year.
Okay. All right. What about Frances McDormand for Tragedy of Macbeth? Any surprise that she wasn't nominated?
No, not especially with her. Like she may be the best actress alive, and that is just not. That's like one of the iconic female roles too, is Lady Macbeth. But no, she doesn't deserve a nomination for that. Did you see Dr. Death?
Yes, I liked it. I was surprised. I homie from Rust. I'm not gonna give too much credit to, but I did enjoy him, Joshua Jackson, and I was surprised at how much I enjoyed him, to be honest with you. Julianne Nicholson did get a nomination for Mare of Easttown. I would have put her in over Jean Smart.
That was a supporting thing, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they mix them together in the TV.
Oh, is that what they do? Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, so because I was like, why is Jean Smart in next to Kate Winslet?
Right.
Okay, so they do put supporting performances. They just lump them all together. Yep. Yeah, I was surprised Julianne Nicholson didn't make it on before Jean Smart for Mare of Easttown.
Yeah. Yep. And one last one. This is a show that you loved, Impeachment: American Crime Story. Any surprises?
I didn't love it. I liked it, but it wasn't even close to the past 2 American crime story installments, which are like incredible seasons of television.
Yeah, I
This
don't
was like,
disagree.
it was okay. I don't think it really merited any nominations. There's no one who I could think. I mean, Beanie was okay. Sarah Paulson was very good as Linda Tripp, but not like undeniable.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to throw it out there, see what your
Let
2
the
cents are.
makeup do a lot of the work there.
Yeah, it felt like a bunch of people doing cosplay as these characters. That's my opinion. I just didn't like it. All right, well, there you go. But Jeff, wouldn't you say overall there's some pretty good nominations, some surprises, but surprises in the right way for the most part, and then also highlighting some. Is this kind of like a what do you call it, like a document you could go back and look at and go, okay, I want to know what the best of 2021 was, and there's a lot of best of 2021 being highlighted here. Does this give you a lot of hope as we're kind of 2 weeks into 2022 about the content we're going to be getting down the road, both film and TV wise?
I mean, I think it's going to be another great year for last year was. I don't know if the nominations, forecasts that, but I think it's a pretty solid group that SAG chose to honor. There's a lot of diversity and inclusion.
Yes.
Beyond getting Black or Latino actors involved, but like, the cast of Squid Game, that I think that became the first like Korean series, to get nominated, and those actors, and then like the Coda people, right? Like,
yes,
those are the first disabled actors ever honored, I think, at SAG, if I read correctly. So I think there's a lot to be happy about and be encouraged about with today's announcement.
Yeah, I will say, though, having only one Black actress nominated in the actress category on the film side of things, Jessica Chastain, Coleman Gaga, and Nicole Kidman, I would have liked to have seen Rachel Zegler kind of bounce it out a little bit, just throwing it out there. I think she deserved to get a nomination in there, for God's sakes. But we shall see down the road what happens in the Oscars, and the SAG Awards are happening later on this year. And are you guys going to be talking about this yourself on FYC?
Yes, we hope to, do a bunch more episodes. I think, I don't know what we're talking about next week. Maybe like visual effects or documentaries and cinematography. I can't keep up with the schedule, but yeah, it's always a fun time. So thank you to everyone who continues to watch us over on Perry's YouTube channel.
There you go. So, all right, look out for that. Let us know what you think about the SAG Awards nominations down in the comments section below. Who do you think was snubbed? Who do you think didn't deserve a nomination? What shows or performances or ensembles do you think we should have highlighted here, we should have talked about, or the Academy or the SAG Academy should have recognized here with their nominations? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks to Jeff so much for being a part of this. Jeff, where can they find you and everything you got going on, my man?
At the Sneider on Twitter. I've been starting to write for the Ankler, so subscribe to the Ankler. I'm going to try to have a piece in there once a week. BTLnews.com. That's a new gig. Below the Line, we're going to have some fun interviews, and that's just where the day-to-day writing is. And then my column on LAMag.com on Fridays. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, the SAG Awards are February 27th, so put that on your calendar, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. PT, to watch that live for you all to enjoy. You can always watch me live anytime I do one of the shows here, or pre-recorded, as this one is here on the Outlaw Nation channel. Please remember to hit a like on this video, subscribe to this video, and share, or subscribe to the channel rather, and share it on your social media so other people can come over and see the great content we do here on the Outlaw Nation channel. Again, a big thanks to Jeff for taking the time to hang out with me and talk about this. Don't forget, we got our spoiler review of Scream coming later on this weekend that you can look forward to as well. And follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram and on TikTok at The Rocha Says as well, and Twitch, the Outlaw Nation. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new show here from the Outlaw Nation. Y'all take care until then.